Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have it all while others are barely scraping by? Picture two men, both in the prime of their life, in their late 40s. One strides out of a sleek office building, the picture of confidence, a knowing smile playing on his lips. This is Mr. Rich, a man who has mastered the art of money management. Now shift your focus to another man, Mr. Poor. He's also in his late 40s, but the similarities end there. He steps out of a bank, paycheck in hand, a cloud of worry etched on his face. Despite holding a decent job, he finds himself struggling to keep up with the mounting bills and the rising cost of his son's college education. Two men, same age, but leading vastly different lives. One, a symbol of wealth and prosperity. The other, a representation of the paycheck-to-paycheck struggle. Let's delve deeper into their stories and find out why. Mr. Rich, a successful businessman, surprises his son with a new motorbike. The son, overwhelmed with joy, wonders aloud, "Dad, how did you manage to buy this bike and also pay for my school fees?" Mr. Rich, with a twinkle in his eye, shares his secret. "Son, I've been investing since my first paycheck. But here's the kicker. I didn't do it all alone." His son, puzzled, prompts him to continue. "You see," Mr. Rich explains, "I pay professionals to manage my portfolio. It's a fee for their expertise, sure, but it's also to save my time. Time is more precious than gold, and I'd rather spend it doing what I love than poring over investment charts." His son, soaking in the wisdom, nods in understanding. Mr. Rich concludes, "Remember, those who want to be wealthy understand the value of leveraging others' skills and time." The secret to Mr. Rich's wealth? Leveraging others' skills and time. On the other hand, Mr. Poor secures an education loan and decides to start investing. With this step, he embarks on a journey that many of us may find familiar. Despite his best efforts, he finds himself struggling to manage the loan payments in the years that follow. It's a constant battle, a relentless push and pull between his paycheck and his debts. In the midst of this struggle, a question arises from his son, one that perhaps mirrors the silent queries of many. "Dad, you were investing. Why then are we struggling with this loan?" It's a valid question, one that highlights the discrepancy between effort and outcome. This struggle, this disconnect, epitomizes the pitfalls of trying to do everything yourself. It's not just about the effort you put in, but also about the wisdom you bring to your actions. And sometimes, that wisdom comes from outsourcing to those who know better. Mr. Poor's struggle is a clear example of what happens when you try to do everything yourself. Fast forward a few years, and the outcomes of their choices become clear. Mr. Rich, having spent years wisely managing his investments, decides it's time to pass the torch. With a confident smile, he transfers his investments into his son's name, securing not just his own legacy of wealth, but also providing his son with the tools to continue the legacy. This isn't just a transfer of wealth, but a transfer of wisdom, of understanding the value of leveraging time and money. Meanwhile, the story unfolds quite differently for Mr. Poor. Despite his hard work and attempts to understand investments, his son ends up having to sell their house to repay the education loan. It's a hard pill to swallow, a stark reminder that self-reliance without the necessary expertise can lead to devastating outcomes. But life, as it often does, finds a way to intertwine these two narratives. Mr. Poor's son, having learned the harsh realities of financial struggle, finds employment. And who does he find himself working for? None other than the son of Mr. Rich. The legacy of wealth, built on the wise leveraging of time and money, continues. It's a bittersweet twist, but one that brings our story full circle. So what can we take away from this tale of two fathers and their sons? It's a lesson in the power of leverage, in the understanding that trying to do everything ourselves can lead to a life of struggle. On the other hand, recognizing the value of others' skills and time, and being willing to invest in their expertise, can lead to a life of wealth and ease. In the end, the choices we make about how we leverage our time and money can have a profound impact on our lives and the lives of our children. Making the right choices, leveraging wisely, and passing on this wisdom can lead to a legacy of wealth that transcends generations.